Hi, this is Michael Abbey with Enterprise Express Tax Service. Today, I'm actually going to talk about President Biden's student forgiveness loan plan, which was announced a couple of weeks ago. But there's a lot of details to this plan that are still not quite yet explained by the government. And so, what I decided to do is kind of dive into the details and really pick out the highlights that I think are essential so everyone has a pretty good general understanding of what this plan really represents. Okay, so let's dig right into it. Up to $10,000. The basic premise of this plan is that at the minimum, you will have up to $10,000 in student loans forgiven. Now, of course, this depends on a couple of factors. One of these, which is income. It is an income-based plan, meaning that if you're single and you earn over $125,000, then you will not qualify for this loan forgiveness. Now, there might be other attributes that they may throw in later, but the basic premise is that if you earn over $125,000 and you file a single tax return, then you may not qualify for it. The flip side is that if you are married or have a partner and you're married and you earn over $250,000, then you won't qualify. The converse is that if you earn under $250,000 and you are married, then you will qualify for loan forgiveness. And if you earn under $125,000, specifically by filing your tax return, and you do not earn more than $125,000 and you are single, then you will qualify for this loan forgiveness. There's something else that the administration threw in, which is if you received a Pell Grant. The Pell Grants are typically reserved for qualifiers, people who took out student loans who are in what is considered an economically disadvantaged status. Usually this is income driven. And you would pretty much know if you got a Pell Grant. The Pell Grant is a grant, it's not a loan, it's a grant that the government gives you, usually up to $20,000. And so if you got a Pell Grant, the government is saying that you would now qualify to be forgiven up to the amount of $20,000 if you got a Pell Grant. Okay. Now, there's a good chance that you did get a Pell Grant as part of your financial aid package while you're at college. Of the estimated 43 million borrowers who will benefit from the administration's forgiveness plan, more than 60% are Pell Grant recipients. This is data according to the White House. So if you're unsure, if you're not sure whether you got a Pell Grant as part of your financial aid package, you can check your student aid account on the Student Financial Aid Government website. And on the main page of your account, there's a section that's titled My Aid. If you click on that tab, you should see whether you have a Pell Grant or not. Now, alternatively, you can also check with the financial aid office of the college that you attended and see if it can provide you with that information. Okay? All right, let's look at probably a couple of other things. Now, if you want to confirm your adjusted gross income, remember this aid is going to be income based. You will qualify for this student loan forgiveness based on your income, and the way the government will pretty much determine that is by looking at the last tax return that you filed. So if you want to make sure and check your tax return, what you need to do is look on line 11 of the front page of your tax return or your 1040. And line 11 should pretty much show you what your adjusted gross income. It'll say AGI as an acronym, but it will tell you what your adjusted gross income was or is for that tax year. So, which loans are going to qualify? Of course, we know that there are different types of loans that are out there that most people have taken. The vast majority, roughly 37 million borrowers, will be eligible for forgiveness based on their loan type. and as long as they fall under the income caps that I just talked about a couple of minutes ago. Now, because the debt is under what's called the William D. Ford Federal Direct Loan Program, this also includes Stafford loans and all direct subsidized and unsubsidized federal student loans. Under the direct program, Parent Plus and grad loans are also eligible for the relief. So this is very wide. They've cast a wide net. My guess is that most people who fall under those income caps will be eligible for the student loan forgiveness, which is pretty good news. Of course, at some stage we'll talk about how we as a nation are going to fund this, but that's a whole different discussion altogether. This is extremely important. Student loans taken out after June 30, 2022 will not be included in the relief. So if you took out a student loan sometime this year, doesn't matter whether it falls under the income cap or not, it is not going to be included in the forgiveness relief program. So, there you have it. If you are currently in an income-driven repayment plan, these are typically called IDRs, income-driven repayment plans. These are plans that you get into if you owe student loans and you've finished college or finished your course and you are not able to pay back. The income-driven repayment plan is a plan in which you can state that you earn under a certain income amount, and the government will put you in a status where you do not have to pay back for a certain period of time. It doesn't mean that the loan is canceled or forgiven, but it just means that you will not have to pay back or make monthly payments for a certain period. These IDRs are renewable every year, and so what happens is that every year you have to requalify for these IDRs. What the government is saying is that if you are in one of these IDR plans, it's most likely that you will not have to complete an application for the student loan forgiveness, pretty much because the government already has your income information. And so it's very likely that anyone who's under an income-driven repayment plan will probably have their loans forgiven automatically. It is possible that you would just get a letter saying that your loans have been forgiven. All right, taxes. We can't let that go by, can we? Now, will the student loans, if your loans are forgiven, will it trigger a tax bill? Remember in the past years when loans have been written off, let's say you have a credit card loan and you do a consolidation or you do a settlement, most times those loans are still considered income from a tax perspective, okay? In this instance, these loans will not be considered income, or at least from the federal tax perspective, they won't be considered income. So you don't have to be concerned that you're going to get a huge tax bill because you had $20,000 in student loans forgiven. However, some states are saying that those forgiven loans will be taxable. So on another segment, I'll be talking about which states are currently saying that the loans will be forgiven. This may be a fluid process where some states at some stage may say that they have decided that those loans will now be forgiven. But as of now, it's not the entire states in the Federation in America who are saying that those student loans will be forgiven. Some are actually saying that those loans will be taxable. So you may want to check with your CPA or your tax specialist or your financial advisor on this particular topic, but it's something to watch out for. So I guess I just went through what I call the highlights of the program. I believe that more will come up as we go along. It's a pretty extensive, detailed program. And of course, a lot of times with these things, the real meat is in the details. And sometimes you don't find out all at once. So stay tuned to my channel. Subscribe if you can. I will do my best to get you the most up-to-date information as soon as I do. Thanks a lot. Once again, my name is Michael Abbey with Enterprise Tax, and we are based in Bowie, Maryland, but we do taxes nationwide. Thanks, and have a blessed day.